What would you do if the home you built wasn't really yours? I never thought I'd be asking myself that, staring at my phone at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, the screen glowing like a toxic secret in our dark bedroom. It wasn't a text message that broke me, not a hotel receipt, but a name. Single name on a bank transfer notification from our joint mortgage account. A name I knew. The transfer was labeled simply monthly contribution, and it wasn't from my wife's salary. It was from her lover. My world didn't just crack, it atomized. All the little lies, the late nights at the office, the sudden distance, it all snapped into focus with a sickening clarity. He wasn't just in her bed. He was in my walls, in the foundation of the life I thought we were building. The worst part? She was sleeping peacefully right next to me, oblivious that I finally knew he was paying for the roof over our heads. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. My wife Claire and I lived in a beautiful brownstone in Chicago's Lincoln Park. We'd stretched ourselves thin for a down payment 5 years ago, but it was our dream. To me, every brick and beam was a testament to our partnership, our shared future, or so I believed. The strange behavior started subtly. Claire, who once shared every detail of her day, grew quiet. Her phone became an extension of her hand, always screened down. She started working late, client dinners in the Gold Coast at restaurants like Gibson's or Maple and Ash, places we used to go for anniversaries. When I'd ask about her day, her answers were vague, polished lies I was too trusting to see. Just the usual, she'd say, a cool smile never reaching her eyes. She'd come home smelling of a perfume that was in tea hers, and claim she'd been testing samples at a department store on Michigan Avenue. The coldness was the worst part. The woman I married, the one who'd laugh until she cried at my stupid jokes, was gone. In her place was a polite, distant roommate. Our intimacy vanished, replaced by excuses of headaches and exhaustion. She became manipulative, twisting my concerns into accusations. When I questioned a credit card charge for a hotel room at the Langham, she exploded. "Are you accusing me of something? You think I'd do that?" "I was at a conference, Mark. Maybe you're the one with trust issues." She made me feel small, paranoid. She and her lover, a wealthy real estate developer named Julian Croft, must have felt untouchable. They were playing a game, and I was the oblivious fool funding their playground. The breaking point came one rainy Friday. I came home early, hoping to surprise her, and found her car in the driveway. The house was quiet. I walked upstairs and heard her voice from our bedroom, the door slightly ajar. She was on the phone, her tone soft and intimate, a tone she hadn't used with me in years. "I know, Julian. I miss you too," she whispered. "Mark has no idea. He thinks I'm at the office. He's so predictable." Then she laughed, a sound that cut me deeper than any knife. "Don't worry about the mortgage payment. He thinks it's from my bonus. He's so easy to handle." I backed away from the door, my heart pounding in my throat. I stumbled into the guest bathroom and sank to the floor, my whole body shaking. The humiliation was a physical thing, a crushing weight in my chest. Predictable, easy to handle. The words echoed in my mind. Right there on the cold tile floor of our guest bathroom, the man she married died, and a strategist was born. My grief turned to cold, calculated rage. I stopped confronting her. I became the predictable, loving husband she expected. I made her dinner, asked about her day, and pretended to believe every lie she spun. But in secret, I was building my case. I opened a private bank account. I started documenting everything. I used a software to recover deleted texts from our shared cloud account, hundreds of them, filled with their plans, their pet names, their mockery of me. I photographed receipts she carelessly left in her car for lingerie and gifts I never received. The biggest piece of evidence came from the bank itself. I went to our branch, feigning concern about our finances, and a sympathetic manager helped me pull the detailed statements for the past 2 years. There it was, in black and white. Monthly transfers from an account under Julian Croft's corporate entity, directly into our mortgage account. He hadn't just paid it a few times. He'd been paying nearly half of our mortgage for almost 2 years. My lawyer, a shark named David Chen, in a downtown skyscraper office overlooking the Chicago River, laid it all out. Illinois is an equitable distribution state. But David explained that the affair and the secret financial contributions were a form of financial fraud against our marital estate. Her deception wasn't just immoral, it was illegal. Trap was set. For her birthday, I planned a surprise party. I invited all our friends, our families, everyone who saw us as the perfect couple. I even, through a fake business inquiry, ensured Julian Croft would be at a restaurant across the street at the exact same time, closing a deal. I told Claire I was taking her to a fancy dinner at Alinea. She got dressed up, radiating a smug beauty that made my stomach turn. The surprise wasn't at a restaurant. It was at a pre-booked conference room in a downtown law office, the same building where my lawyer worked. When we walked in, she saw her parents, my parents, and our closest friends sitting around a large mahogany table. And at the head of the table sat my lawyer, David. Claire's smile froze. "Mark, what is this?" she asked, her voice trembling. I didn't answer. "I just took my seat," David began. He calmly presented the evidence. The bank statements projected onto a large screen. The text messages, the photos of receipts. With each slide, the color drained from Claire's face. Her parents stared at her in horror. My mother began to cry softly. I watched, my face a mask of stone, as her world was publicly and methodically dismantled. When David finished, he slid a folder across the table to her. It was a divorce settlement. It stated that due to her fraudulent activities, I was claiming full ownership of the house of property her lover had been paying for. She would walk away with nothing but her personal belongings and the mountain of debt she accrued on her secret credit cards. She looked at me, her eyes begging. "Mark, please," she whispered. I just stared back, my silence her answer. As our friends and family filed out of the room, disgusted and avoiding her gaze, her phone buzzed. It was a text from me, which I'd scheduled an hour earlier. It was a single screenshot of her and Julian in a hotel bar, a picture I'd hired a private investigator to take. The caption read, "I think your wife might want to see this. Her number is 773-555-0182. Tell Julian I said hello." Her shriek of pure panic was the last sound I heard as I walked out of that room and never looked back. Today the brownstone is quiet, the legal battles are over, and her name is off the deed. Julian's marriage imploded, and his business reputation took a massive hit. Claire, I heard, moved back in with her parents, broken and socially ruined. Sometimes late at night I walk through the silent rooms of this house he helped pay for. I don't feel victory, just a vast, chilling emptiness. Revenge, it turns out, is just a different kind of cage. The end.